So whenever you co-sign for somebody, you're basically saying, hey, I'm responsible if this person does not pay. Now, I remember I was watching this motivational video and this guy says, I became a millionaire twice. And I was like, wow, that's impressive. That guy did it twice. He probably got like $2 million. And he was like, no, I did it twice because the first time I co-signed for a friend of mine in this company and they couldn't pay, and then I went broke having to pay everything else because basically I was 100% responsible for that person because I co-signed. Now in this video, I'm gonna give you exactly 3 reasons why you never wanna co-sign for a friend, a kid, a parent, a child, whoever it is, a neighbor. Just never co-sign. It's just not something you want to do. And by the way, if someone tries to make you feel guilty, like for example, hey, oh my gosh, Paul, you should co-sign for me. I am your friend. You know I'm responsible. You know I'm good for it. The answer is no. No. You know, just help in another way. It's not a good idea. And by the end of this video, you will fully understand and comprehend why it's not a good idea to co-sign for anyone, including a friend. And as always, guys, like this video and top out, also subscribe and hit the bell to get notified, okay? Now, the very first thing is you gotta do the math here. Just use common sense, okay? When you go to the ocean, and there are sharks around, sharks want to do everything they possibly can to get you in the water and eat you. That is the dealership, and those are the agents, okay? When you walk into a dealership, those people will swarm you. They will say, hey, what can we do to help you? We want to get you out of this dealership with the car of your dreams, okay? Let's go for a test drive. Let's check your credit score. Let's check this person and that person. We can do something here. Let's do a trade-in. My point is, okay, agents will try to do everything, or car salesmen will try to do absolutely everything in their power to get you to qualify for a car loan and get you to walk out that door. So if your friend walked out at a dealership not being able to qualify, it's because they don't qualify. It's that simple. The people that want them to qualify the most said, hey, we can't help you. So what is your business trying to help someone that clearly does not qualify for it? Now, obviously, very simple fact here is that basically the average car payment is like $500 per month. To me, that's so insane. It's so crazy. It's ridiculous. But on top of that, the average American doesn't even have $1,000 to cover a simple emergency. So the point is, if they can't cover an emergency, how are they going to cover a car payment if an emergency happens? And then who's going to be liable? The answer is you're going to be liable. And you don't want to put yourself in that position. That's the idea. Now, number 2 is, it will risk the relationship. You know, you think that when you say yes to a friend, it's probably like fortifying and helping the relationship, but sometimes it's actually putting the entire thing in jeopardy and you don't actually want to do it, okay? And here's why, okay? Whenever you say, for example, yes to a cosign deal, whatever it is, you know, the deal is, right? If they don't pay, you're responsible, and you're obviously not gonna feel good about having to pay for your friend's bill, because that's not what friends usually do, right? Friends cover their responsibilities. They don't put burdens on their friends all the time. You know, they ask for help in different ways, but to put a whole car loan, $10,000, $20,000 under your name is probably not the coolest thing to actually do to a friend. Now, I want you guys to imagine this. I've seen friends break up because a friend didn't tell a friend a secret. Imagine what would happen if a friend ruined your credit score, ruined your finances, and forced you into having to pay their bills, okay? That would probably not be the best thing. Now, my personal opinion about life is, it's okay to take risks, but it's never okay to take a risk that risks everything you basically have, because it's just not worth the risk, okay? It's like saying, for example, let's play Russian roulette because the odds are in your favor. Yeah, the odds are in your favor, but if you lose everything, okay? So it's obviously not worth it. That's the idea. So my point is, you think saying yes to a friend, you're probably gonna become even better friends. But in reality, what you risk is the entire relationship. So usually, you don't want, by the way, personal story here. I had an uncle. He needed cash. I lent him the cash. He couldn't pay me back. All of a sudden, he stopped calling me. He stopped talking to me. And then he finally was able to pay me back. Then he started talking to me again. He asked for cash again. I said no, because I clearly understand how money can change a relationship. Now, I love my uncle. I love my friends. And I wouldn't want to risk the relationship over money. So just don't put that in jeopardy, especially with credit, because credit can actually ruin your whole thing. No credit is fine. Bad credit, It's terrible. It says a lot about you. Now, good people go broke all the time. I walked into my job when I was 19 years old, and I saw 10 people, 10 good people, get laid off right then and there. The answer is good things happens to responsible, good people all the time, and that could also be your friend. They could be a victim of life, and then you could be a victim of co-signing somebody else's thing. Now, by the way, the Bible in Proverbs also talks about, for example, if you co-sign for somebody, go beg and go ask, please take me off, okay? Because it's just not a good idea. Now, here are some options you actually want to do. Maybe you could tell your friend, hey, you know, I'll co-sign for you, but only if you give me 6 months of payments in front. You know, that could be an option. I still wouldn't do it me personally, okay? Maybe you can also tell your friend, hey, I know you can't afford this car, but how about you just basically buy a little beater car for like $1,000 and then save those payments that you would have paid for a year. And now you have, for example, 6K at the end of the year, and you're able to buy the car you actually want. Maybe the car you need, not the car you want, but the car you actually are able to afford. That's the idea. Or third, just tell them, hey, how else can I help you that doesn't involve, for example, co-signing? You know, and whenever you ask a good friend that question, the answer is usually, well, I don't think you can help me in any other way, but thank you. You know, I think that's fair. I think that's pretty good. Doesn't make you a bad friend to say no. Doesn't make you a bad friend to say, hey, can't do it this time. Doesn't make you a bad friend at all. So it's okay to say no, and I don't recommend you co-sign for anybody else. And by the way, I see parents do this for kids. I see kids do this for parents, and it's usually like terrible, terrible, terrible. I remember I had a call, and one of the guys was like, Tommy, I co-signed for my mom's car. And I was like, does your mom has income? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, you're going to be paying that. You know that? He's like, no, she's going to pay. I'm like, how? She doesn't have any income. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? So that's the point. It puts unnecessary stress, it risks the relationship, and you're also like super responsible for it. It could ruin everything. So the answer is don't co-sign, help another way, offer different options, and just like back away. If the sharks don't want them, why? You know what I mean? So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Like this video, comment down below shark or car if you made it all the way to the end of the video. As always, guys, like, subscribe, you'll be notified. Up here is another banger. Over here is my Facebook, subscribe. And as always, long-term team out. This is a short video because it really is a short answer. No, just say no.